Rangers are staring down the barrel of one of the most important transfer windows in recent years, with glaring gaps across the squad and whispers growing louder about top talents eyeing moves elsewhere. The summer promises to be nothing short of chaotic for the Ibrox side. It's not just about signing new faces, it's about rebuilding a team that can compete, dominate, and deliver silverware again. And with the window creeping closer, there are already murmurs that the club could be on the verge of securing a new defender, something that's got fans cautiously optimistic, and rightly so. But before we dive deeper into what's shaping up to be a pivotal summer for the club, let's talk about a match that's still fresh in the minds of the supporters. That wild comeback against Dundee. You could feel the tension inside the stadium as the Gers went into halftime trailing 2. Goals from Simon Murray and Joe Shaughnessy had put the visitors in front, although the second came in the form of an own goal that gave Rangers a bit of hope going into the break. Still, the mood wasn't exactly buoyant. Trailing at home to a side like Dundee, that's not where this club wants to be. But then there's Barry Ferguson, the caretaker gaffer, stepping in during a turbulent spell had a different message. For the lads in the dressing room, according to Cyril Desires, Ferguson didn't come in throwing hairdryers around or pointing fingers. No, the vibe was positive. He reminded the team that there was still 45 minutes left, that the game was far from over, and that what mattered was the character they'd shown time and time again. Desires said it best himself. There's always a time to shout to. Criticize to rip into the team. But that wasn't it. That moment called for belief, calm heads, and a reminder of who they are. Coming out for the second half, things didn't immediately turn around. In fact, Rangers found themselves down 3-1. Not long after the restart. At that point, it looked like all was lost. The kind of result that sparks questions, finger pointing, and maybe even panic behind the scenes. But what followed was a proper response. Rangers rallied, pushed forward with urgency, and turned the Sisal as game on its head. A flurry of goals in the final stretch saw them complete a dramatic 4-3 victory. One that will be remembered not for the performance, but for the resilience. It was an especially busy night for Desires himself. The Nigerian forward had a whopping 12 shots at goal. 12, it felt like nothing was falling for him, like he was cursed in front of the net. But then right at the death, he latched onto a ball over the top, brought it down beautifully and slotted it past the keeper with a composed finish. You could see what it meant to him. After the match, he said he always knows he'll get chances. The key is staying locked and keeping your head in the game and being ready when the next one comes. On that night, it came late, but it came all the same. Now shifting gears slightly, let's talk transfers, specifically Ben Davies. The centre-back who made the switch to Birmingham City on loan last summer has been quietly rebuilding his reputation in League One. And to be fair to him, he's been brilliant. 37 appearances so far, a key figure in Birmingham's push for promotion, and a player that looks reborn after a tough spell in Glasgow. The Blues are cruising at the top of the table, 13 points clear of Wrexham, and they've got a Wembley final in the Virtue Trophy coming up against Peterborough United. It's been a dream season for them, and Davies has played no small part in that. So the big question now is, will he stay? Will this loan turn into a permanent move? When asked, Davies didn't exactly close the door. He said he hadn't really thought about it yet, that his focus was on playing as many games as possible and helping Birmingham get over the line. But he also admitted that he's loving his time there, and if the opportunity came up to stick around, he'd definitely consider it. Still, his contract with Rangers runs until the summer of 2026, so any move would require the club's blessing and potentially a fee. One to watch for sure. But while there's been plenty of noise on the pitch and in the transfer market, some of the headlines this week have been dominated by off-the-field controversy. UEFA have come down hard on Rangers following an incident during their Europa League clash with Fenerbahce. In what should have been a night of celebration, the Gers edging past the Turkish giants on penalties to reach the quarterfinals, things took a dark turn due to a banner displayed by a small section of the travelling support. UEFA deemed it racist and discriminatory, and they wasted no time in issuing charges. In response, Rangers have acted swiftly and decisively. The club has confirmed that lifetime bans are being handed out to those found responsible, and they're not messing about. UEFA have warned that if anything similar happens again within the next 2 years, a section of the Copland stand will be closed for one European fixture. That's a serious threat and one that could hurt the atmosphere and the team on the pitch. Financially, the punishments are also stacking up. A £25,000 fine for the banner itself, plus additional penalties of £5,000 and £3,755 for separate offences, including blocking passageways inside the stadium and throwing objects. It's a costly mistake, and one that stirred up plenty of debate. A football finance expert, Stefan Borzan, chimed in questioning whether lifetime bans might be going too far. He pointed out that clubs do have wide discretion over who they allow into their grounds, but also noted that sometimes individuals found not guilty in court still end up banned by their clubs. And once the club makes that decision, there's not much recourse. Internal appeals might exist, but legally there's little you can do. A lifetime ban means just that unless someone finds a way to sneak in under another name, and even then the person who helped them in could find themselves banned as well. Borson also took aim at UEFA's inconsistency. He said that while the governing body has taken a strong stance here, there have been previous instances where their response to racist behavior was surprisingly lenient. It's a fair point. Fans across Europe have seen UEFA dish out light punishments for serious offences in the past, so when they suddenly get tough, it raises eyebrows. Still, the message from Rangers is loud and clear. This kind of behavior won't be tolerated, and the club will do whatever it takes to protect its reputation and values. All of this is happening as Rangers prepare for a massive European quarterfinal against Athletic Bilbao, a chance to make a real statement on the continental stage, but one that'll be played under a cloud if fan behavior continues to make headlines. The focus has to shift back to football, and the players will be desperate to let their feet do the talking. And just before we wrap this section up, one final note. Former Rangers striker Martin Waghorn is back. He is the 35-year-old who announced his retirement earlier this year, has reportedly come out of retirement to help Derby County fight off relegation. He won't be registered as a player for their final 8 matches, but his presence in training is already being seen as a boost. Waghorn had a memorable spell at Ibrox, banging in 44 goals in 78 appearances, and it's clear he's still got a passion for the game. While the drama off the pitch has grabbed plenty of attention, the truth is that everything now comes down to what happens between those white lines. Rangers are still fighting on multiple fronts, domestically and in Europe, and any distraction, be it controversy or transfer rumours, can quickly derail momentum. That's why Barry Ferguson's leadership, even as a temporary figure, has proven so vital. He knows the club inside out. He understands the expectations, the pressure, the weight of the badge. And more importantly, the players seem to be buying into his message. Dig deep, show character, and finish strong. But let's not pretend everything's rosy. The squad still needs serious work. There's not enough depth in key positions, and with injuries piling up over the course of the season, it's been laid bare for all to see. The defense in particular has looked shaky far too often. Even with individual talent on show, there's been a lack of cohesion, and that's something that has to be addressed in the upcoming window. That's why the news of a potential defensive signing already in the works has got fans buzzing. It's early days, but if Rangers can get their business done quickly and smartly, they'll be in a far stronger position come next campaign. One player who could be central to those plans, or perhaps not at all, is Ben Davies. As mentioned earlier, he's enjoying life at Birmingham, and while his contract runs until 2026, it wouldn't be a shock to see him move on permanently. If that does happen, it frees up a spot in the backline and potentially some funds that could be reinvested elsewhere. Rangers can't afford to hang on to players who don't want to be here or who aren't fully in the manager's plans. That ruthless edge, that clarity in decision-making is what separates good recruitment periods from great ones. It's also clear that younger players are going to need to step up. The likes of Alex Lowry and Zach Lovelace have shown glimpses of real quality, but they need more minutes, more trust, and more responsibility. With the right guidance, these lads could form the spine of a new-look Rangers team, one that blends experience with youth grit with flair. But they'll only grow if given the platform. That's where the coaching staff will earn their wages. Over the next few months, not just preparing for the final stretch of the season, but planning for what's to come. Of course, the fixture list doesn't ease up. There's barely time to breathe between matches, and with the Europa League, quarterfinal on the horizon, squad rotation will be key. The clash with Athletic Bilbao promises to be a cracking tie. Two historic clubs with passionate fan bases and plenty to prove. Rangers will need to be at their absolute best, not just technically, but mentally. European nights are different. They demand focus, resilience, and a touch of magic. And if this team has any hopes of going all the way, they'll need to channel every ounce of belief and experience they've got. Meanwhile, the supporters will have their part to play. The Ibrox atmosphere on a European night is something else. It's intimidating, electric, and inspiring all at once. But that support has to come with responsibility. The recent sanctions from UEFA serve as a stark reminder. One bad decision from the stands can cost the club dearly. It's a delicate balance keeping the passion alive without crossing lines that bring shame or punishment. The majority of the Rangers faithful know this. They love their club and want to see it thrive. But it only takes a few to tarnish that image, and that's a risk no one can afford right now. As the club moves forward, all eyes will be on how they respond, both on and off the pitch. The remaining matches this season are about more than just points or trophies. They're about setting the tone for the future. They're about proving that Rangers are ready to rise again, not just as a domestic powerhouse, but as a force to be reckoned with across Europe. It won't be easy. It never is. But with the right leadership, smart decisions in the transfer market, and unity across the board this summer, could mark the start of something truly special at Ibrox. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. In a candid revelation that has sent ripples through the Scottish football community, James Bisgrove, the former CEO of Rangers Football Club, acknowledged that the club's board had numerous issues requiring urgent attention. His departure in May 2024 to assume a role in Saudi Arabia left a leadership vacuum that has yet to be filled. Bisgrove's tenure, which began in 2019 as commercial and marketing director, saw significant commercial growth, with revenues increasing from $8 million to $28 million. That's a 250% rise attributed to his strategic leadership. However, his exit exposed deeper challenges within the club's hierarchy. Following his departure, Chairman John Bennett stepped down due to health reasons, further destabilizing the boardroom. The leadership turmoil coincided with on-field struggles, including early exits from European competitions and inconsistent domestic performances. These challenges have intensified scrutiny on manager Philippe Clement, whose position remains under constant evaluation. The club's search for a permanent CEO continues, with reports suggesting that Patrick Stewart, former interim CEO of Manchester United, is a leading candidate. As Rangers navigate this period of uncertainty, fans and analysts alike are keenly observing how the board addresses these multifaceted challenges. The decisions made in the coming months will be crucial in determining the club's trajectory both on and off the pitch. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.